I'm not running, but I'm going to keep working and speaking and standing up for what I believe.
There you have it. Hillary Clinton says she will not be running for president again in 2020. Clinton first ran for president in 2008 before losing the nomination to Barack Obama. In 2016, she fended off a challenge from Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders before winning the popular vote and losing the presidency to Donald Trump. Joining me now is former Clinton campaign aide Joel Payne. He worked as the director of African-American advertising for Clinton's 2016 run. Joel, welcome. Thanks for being with us. First off, are you surprised by this announcement? And secondly, is the party breathing a sigh of relief?
Not surprising one bit, in part because I think she said this about 3 or 4 times already in the last couple months. So I get the fascination. I know that Hillary Clinton is a larger-than-life figure, but it was pretty much settled law even before this morning that she wasn't going to run. I don't think the party should have any reaction other than gratefulness for a lifetime of public service. She has cleared a lot of barriers for a lot of people who are going to come after her, particularly a field as diverse as this one with so many promising young women who are following in the footsteps of Hillary Clinton. I think the party should feel good about her contributions and the state that she's left things in for the Democratic Party.
She certainly did lay the groundwork for so many women who have now come up after her. So, Joel, what exactly will her role be in this campaign cycle?
Well, you know, a role that Hillary Clinton has always accelerated in is one of being a team player. Remember, she lost a very, very bitter defeat to Barack Obama in 2008, as you alluded to, and in a situation where a lot of people would have just kind of gone home, taken their ball and go home, she joined the Obama team and was a loyal lieutenant to President Obama for 4 years as the Secretary of State. And so I would imagine Hillary Clinton will play a role as a senior advisor, a king or queen maker, if you will, and as somebody who all of these campaigns should be seeking out because even though she did not beat Barack Obama, Donald Trump in the Electoral College, let's not forget she got 3 million more votes than him last time around, which isn't nothing.
Absolutely. All right. So in the same interview that we showed a little bite from at the top, Clinton was asked about her message to the candidates running this time around. And here's what she had to say.
Well, I've talked to, most of them, men and women who are running, who are already declared, and a few that are about to be declared, I think. And I've told every one of them, don't take anything for granted, even though we have a long list of real problems and broken promises from this administration that need to be highlighted. People need to understand that in many cases they were sold a bill of goods. We can't take anything for granted. We have to work really, really hard to make our case to the American people. And I'm going to do everything I can to help the Democrats win back the White House.
So what lessons, Joel, should this batch of candidates take away from her unexpected loss to President Trump? As you said, you know, she had 3 million more popular votes. So what's the takeaway there?
Well, I think the takeaway is, look, there are some very prescriptive political takeaways, right? There are parts of the country that you can't ignore. You know, look, we've taken our medicine on the Clinton campaign. We know the parts of the upper Midwest that President Trump ran kind of what we would call an inside straight through, you know, Michigan, Wisconsin, you know, some of those states that Hillary Clinton should have carried, we should have spent more time on. And so they should certainly take that lesson. I think what they should also do is think about President Trump. You know, one of the mistakes I always thought that Democrats made last time around was we tried to otherize Donald Trump and suggest that he was kind of this foreign virus that is invading our politics. And I think the part that we maybe missed is that people kind of wanted that. Mm-hmm. They kind of wanted something that was different and that was off the beaten path. And so really what I would frame Donald Trump as is just another Republican. Right? The same Republican ideas that a lot of Democrats have been fighting over for decades. Donald Trump is really just a more exuberant, he's more of a fire show of those same ideas. And so that's, I think, the tack that these candidates, this batch of candidates should take. And I'm sure that Senator Clinton has relayed that in some of her private meetings.
Well, Joel, one candidate who says he likely won't be seeking any advice from Hillary Clinton is the current fundraising leader in this race, Bernie Sanders. Here he is on The View earlier this week. Let's listen.
We're hearing about a lot of Democratic candidates who are meeting with Hillary Clinton for advice, though. So people like Amy Klobuchar. Do you think you'll do the same?
I suspect not. Hillary has not, you know, she has not called me. Look, we have differences. Hillary has played a very important role in modern American politics.
Yeah. But you're not interested in any advice from her?
I think not. You think not? Look, I think every Democrat is going to come together. And let me say what I've said before. I hope to be the Democratic nominee and have the support of the whole Democratic Party behind me. If I am not, and somebody else is, I will support that candidate. Because what's most important is that Trump be defeated. But, Hillary and I have fundamental differences.
Just to remind our viewers, Joel, much of the 2016 Democratic primary was defined by some of the bad blood between the Clinton and Sanders camps. Politico even has a story looking into how former Clinton staffers are criticizing Sanders' 2020 campaign. So what are your thoughts on all of that?
Oh boy, you want to get a bunch of politicos riled up, start talking about an old campaign where there's a lot of stuff that hasn't been buried, that the hatchet hasn't been buried. Listen, look, we were fierce rivals, and admittedly, I joined the campaign a little bit later beyond the primary season. But Senator Sanders and Secretary Clinton were fierce rivals. They had serious differences. They fought them out. They respected each other. They're going to remain rivals in a lot of different ways, and that's okay. And they don't have to be the best of friends. But I think what Senator Sanders said there at the end is instructive, that at the end of the day, Democrats are going to come together. And I think that's to be expected. I think Secretary Clinton would say the same thing. And by the way, I think that Bernie Sanders may change his mind as he goes through this process, because Hillary Clinton successfully ran for president twice. She broke a lot of barriers. She made a lot of history. And I think anybody could use her counsel as they go through this process.
Made some very good points. I'm just curious, Joel, how much you think that the 2020 election, at least for the Democrats, will be about learning to game the Electoral College a little bit better.
I don't even think it's really so much gaming the Electoral College. It's just understanding how to talk to voters in a country that's changing. Republicans have the same challenge, right? There's a lot of voters out there that Republicans, there's a lot of white space, so to speak, that Republicans have in terms of people that they can talk to and new ways they can talk to voters. And Democrats have the same challenge. There are parts of the country where the Democratic Party has to do a better job of communicating. And I would say Republicans have the same challenge.
All right. Joel Payne, former Clinton campaign staffer, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.